Okay, here's the room. If you look here, it is a walkout, so I can open the door to bring air in. So if I open this for about a good 3 hours, I don't see much difference in pH. Now obviously the fish room is behind the tank and there's no ventilation, unfortunately. So I'll go to the fish room to show you the setup. Now, if we go here, here's the tank. Hopefully the glare isn't too bad. But again, this was a restart. I went from about 150 SPS frags and colonies to this. As you can see, my LPS corals seem to be doing fine, which would tell me I have nutrients. Here's one of my Fabia corals who bounced back, one of the survivors. All of my LPS survived the major disaster. Here are my frags. As you can see here, they're all doing terrible. This is what I have left. Gotten rid of most of the other ones that didn't look recoverable. My bird's nest corals seem to be doing okay. My Monopora, they're paling out, but they have like streaks of white in them. I know it's not nudibranchs. I know there's no pests in here. I've verified that. I've been searching for them every single night. There are no pests that I can see. The only LPS I have is this hammer that looks pale. This is the only one that looks pale. It just so happens to be the lowest one. I think it may be more chemical warfare with that Green Star Pop, which I'm going to throw away, get it out of the tank. There, my bird's nest is looking good. My zoas are looking good. I believe I had a problem growing zoas in the past, but I think I had pests and the tank wiped out. I'm pretty sure it nuked those. So that's probably why I'm now having success with zoas. Here's the browned out frag way in the back. This one's a Vivid Aquarium survivor from the nuclear fallout of the tank. I found him in the sand bed and he seems to be coming back to life. My Pochlepora seems to be doing great. Here's that pale one I posted a picture of in the thread. I have no idea what this green guy is, but he looks cool. Here's my bird's nest. All the bird's nests are doing good. My Duncan, doing good. This is a colony I bought from a local fish store. Another trusted source who takes trade-ins from a trusted source. It just doesn't seem to be doing good. The tips seem to be catching some vermitid snail webs and holding algae. I'm guessing the tips are burning. My MP60 sits on the side here. Sorry about the glare, but you see the MP60 sits on the side. I've got an MP40 on the back wall, and then my Geyer 150, Gear Geyer, whatever they're called, 150. It creates a lot of turbulence on the water surface, as you can see. It's currently running. I'll try and get a shot of it when it runs in reverse mode. But again, this is everything. You can see the Xenia on top. I don't know what it's doing, but long story short, it's growing like crazy. I guess I had some strands over here. Here's the surface now with the Geyer in full motion. So I know I'm getting surface agitation here. Alright, let's go around to the other side of the fish room here. So as you can see, my surface has a lot of turbulence. Alright, here's my mixing tank. I'm letting the new salt aerate, and then of course this is fresh. RO water goes through a calc dispenser. So any RO water going into the tank through my auto top off goes directly through the calc solution. I also have this bucket filled with calc water, a really concentrated solution with an aqua lifter on the apex running every hour for 20 seconds. Here's my dual canister GFO and carbon. I'm using the exact methods off the bulk Reef supply calculator with their GFO and carbon product. Here's my Life Reef skimmer. As you can see, it's definitely oversized for the system. This is new. I usually don't go get this much skim mate quit this quickly. But this is about a day and a half worth of skim mate. Okay? So I keep a lot of detritus in the sump. I don't vacuum the sump out all the time. I usually try to vacuum it out either monthly or every other month and a half. As you can see, I do let the detritus build up in there. I've never had a nutrient problem, so I'm really unsure. Here's my CO2 media. The tube's going directly to the reactor, to the Venturi. I'm not really dosing anything right now. I was dosing flatware exit. Don't need that anymore. It's too expensive. I'm not sure it worked. And here you can see I'm doing some construction work. It's a mess in here, so I'm trying to clean this up and move some things around. So I've got a big mess. But long story short, I was able to fish a line through the wall upstairs into this stuffy room. And of course, I'm just experimenting right now bringing an air line in, but I'm going to bring a 1-inch PVC down from the outside to connect to the skimmer and see if that helps, because I don't know if this is really doing the job. But it also could be that I'm just not getting enough airflow into the skimmer itself. My auto top off in there, my Vectra pump is my return pump. And again, the mess is, here's my calcium reactor. It is a Vertex unit with an aquarium plant, CO2, all controlled with an apex. My pH is starting to shoot up a little bit because it's, as you can see here, it's at 7.9. I was running at 8.01, but last night I dropped down to 7.6, which has me a little worried. I don't know why it's doing that. And last but not least, I'll show you my light configuration. Sorry for the autofocus here, but my lights are, I was running 8 for the longest time, and my tank always looked very just oversaturated, just bright. Talked to the guys at Worldwide Corals in the store, and they were saying that I probably don't need that many lights. Now, I don't know if my configuration's accurate. I have them a little higher up than AI recommends, but I'm running them close to 90% on the blues. I'm trying to follow the SPS Plus profile. Ultimately, I'd like to get to UV, purple, and blues at 100%, whites at 24, greens at 24, reds at 24. So that's everything. I auto feed with pellets every other day, and then I feed frozen food in nori daily. Frozen food consists of Reef Frenzy, and I usually put a pinch of Reefroids in there for the corals. Lately I've been dosing daily amino acids. So I'm not sure if that's helping, but it doesn't appear I'm seeing any results from that. My nutrients did shoot up a little bit. My phosphates now are at 0.03. My nitrates, I believe, are between 2 and 5. It's really hard to read. I can't really tell. So that's the setup. This is all stone behind this wall foundation. I don't know if I can run a vent system. So I'm looking at potentially getting a single room ERV unit that would install in the ceiling. I just need to find a way to bring the intake and exhaust vents in. They have to be 10 feet apart, so that limits my options. So I'm going to have the heating and cooling experts figure out what they can do. But again, I've got windows in here, and opening them up seems to do very little. So there's another walkout area over here. And of course, that's the door. So it's right around the corner. I can open that all day and use the screen and see no positive effect on pH. But the minute I bring water outside and aerate it, my pH will jump to 8.3. So I know there's a pH issue in this house. And I'm not quite sold pH is the problem with my tank. I just can't figure out what's going on. My flow looks good, my lighting looks good, my parameters look excellent. My alkalinity has been stable for months, years. I've never let it get high. I had one spike a few weeks ago, which I think triggered a lot of the burn on the corals, and it shot up to 8.4 because I was tweaking my calcium reactor, and Apparently I had a clog and it must have unclogged because my flow was ridiculous going through the thing. I slowly let it back down to 7.8 where it's been stable for the last, I'd say, week. So again, here's the tank. I don't know why I'm having so many problems. It's blowing my mind. I can't figure it out. It's one of those things where I can't troubleshoot it because none of the symptoms directly relate to the problems. I simply don't know what the issue is. I don't know if it's flow. If it was flow, why would I have a perfect tank in the past? This same tank flourished for a whole year before I got my pests and nuked it on accident, and that was my fault. I take ownership of that one. I used flatworm exit without knowing the full consequences. I had used it in the past in my old 150, never had an issue. I figured the larger volume I'd be okay. I thought I got all the flatworms out of there. There were so many hiding in the rocks that it literally poisoned the tank. And the only thing in the past I changed to a new salt mix. Now, I took advantage of the complete tank reset to do that, so I didn't do that in the middle. I would suspect that would be the problems with all my corals. But there was no life in here, not even fish, when I changed salts. I changed from Red Sea coral salt to Instant Ocean. The reason being, I want to do a lot of water changes weekly. Instant Ocean is incredibly cheap compared to the Red Sea, and I don't see any benefits. When I talk to the guys in Orlando, all the local fish stores seem to use the Instant Ocean, and a lot of tanks of the month have it. The aquariums here use it. I know Newport Aquarium here in Kentucky, I live in southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, there's a Newport Aquarium. They swear by Instant Ocean. I believe the Shed Aquarium also uses it too. So if it's good enough for them, surely it's good enough for me. So there's my tank walkthrough. Thanks. I hope we can figure something out. As usual, thanks to everyone at Reef for being extremely helpful.